First things first, I would like to apologize for the bad audio. I wanted to record this with my microphone, but my Elgato broke, so that's fun. But today, I just wanted to talk about my conclusion from playing with Mr. Fantastic for so long. I have two videos up on my channel. Both are super long, so my apologies for that, but I'm really proud of those videos, and they really taught me something, man, and I'm just gonna say it, like, up front. I believe Mr. Fantastic is the third best science character in the game. This man is genuinely crazy. I talked about his abilities, like, on parts 1 and 2 of his trial, but I'm just gonna talk about why I think they're so good and make this guy, like, what he is. So, of course, you have his pre-fights. Those are just incredible. That's, like, what makes a character, because not only do you have them for himself, like, he's super strong with them. He can reverse healing. If you have 3 out of 3 despair, you reverse healing, like, after 2 petrifies. So after 1 SP2, you're reversing healing. That's incredible. And then the power control, dude. The suppression is so underrated. Like, that's one of the best ways to control a fight is by toying with their combat power rate. And with 3 out of 3 petrify, you basically power lock them when they're stunned, which is incredible. That is just the pure definition of control, because not only do you have that, but you have the petrify, which lets you, like, reverse any ability power rate too. So you stop the combat and the ability power rate, which is absolutely incredible. And then you have the debuff siphoner. This one is not as good as the other two, unfortunately, but it does have its use. But I think it's just there to increase his attack, to be honest. And then we have just, like, there's so many things that this character has that you don't think would be useful until you actually use the guy, and it just does so much for him. Like his special attack 1, you have his taunt, and that taunt lets him take all or nothing. It lets him take Surging Vengeance. It lets him take so many things that you would never think Mr. Fantastic can do. And he's not, like, he's doing these fights pretty fast too, even when you can't, like, SP3. Like, he can solo the champion solely because of his special 1. Because it also has a stagger, which, honestly, that just felt like it was too much. This guy has so many utilities already. He has so much damage, and they just, like, they threw in a mystic ability for him. Like, yeah, here you go. Now he's a mystic character too. So the stagger is great, for reoccurring buffs like the Champion's Fury. Wouldn't say it's too good for Resistor because he doesn't, like, have enough to, like, remove them constantly, but, like, that one node Fight or Flight, really good for that. Persistent Pressure, he can just nullify the Unstoppables. So yeah, there's so many uses for a special 1. It is a truly underrated special attack. And then, with the Fantastic Four synergy, with Human Torch's synergy, you have the fact that it places an Incinerate and a Heal block on the opponent. So not only does it just increase your damage overall if you need to use SP1, but it also lets you counter things like Selective Time Stream, Pleasure to Burn. What was that one note they took? Oh, Stunning Reflection. That's the big one. He is incredible for Stunning Reflection. Like, I took a whole path with him, and it was so easy. Same thing with that Dragon Man boss. It was super easy. And yeah, just so much utility on this special 1, man. This dude is just so much utility. And then we have the special 2. This is how you build up the character. I love that, like, it's really easy to access, like, his ways to build up, because he has increased combat power rate too with the signature ability, so you really get there very fast if he's high sig. The signature ability, I love it. It's so good. If you get 2 careful studies up and he's max sig, it is genuinely crazy how much he gains power. And it had me thinking. And I would say that to be the third best science character, he needs Max Sig. Not saying he like significantly drops if he's low Sig. I think he's still better than Void at low Sig. I think the only character that could probably beat him is the champion that shall not be named, because I do not like them at all. But yeah, if he's Max Sig, dude, it is just unreal. I think that really makes him outclass literally every science champion except for Captain America, Infinity War, and Human Torch. And that is simply because those two champs are literally untouchable. Like, they will never release a science character as good as Cap. Cap, in my opinion, is by far the best science character. I think Kabam regrets making him. There is just too much utility on him. But I'll make a separate video on why I think he is the best science character over Torch, which is surprising since I have a rank 4 Torch and all, you know, but... going back to Mr. Fantastic, though, we have the Special Attack 3, which is... The amount of damage on this is unreal. And not only that, if you pair him with the Fantastic Four, you get... I'll show you the synergy real quick. You get a damage over time, kind of like Void's. And it scales with current attack. So you can imagine what the damage is on the Special 3 of like the damage over time. It is like about 2,500 damage per tick, which is super crazy. When I saw like the what's that new thing, the beta feature, right? Where you see like what percent of damage was dealt to the opponent. I think like a majority of it was damage over time, because it is that strong after you launch the Special 3. And the basic attacks hit for so much, dude. I was hitting like 40k heavies, like 20k mediums. It was super crazy. So yeah, what does this character have? Tons of damage, super fast and guaranteed utility that's super easy to access. Massive combat power rate to help his ramp up. And his ramp up isn't even bad unduped, but the combat power rate really, really brings him to the top, in my opinion. And then from external synergies, he has the ability to bypass selective time stream, pleasure to burn, stunning reflection, and then he has his ability to basically become Void and have that damage over time that super outclasses Void in the damage over time department if the fight's long, because yeah, nothing beats that damage over time on the Special 3. It is a ton of damage. And what else does he have? Oh yeah, this synergy right here. Like, it's just, I can talk about this character all day because he genuinely just has that much. He has so much abilities, dude. He has so many things. And this one right here is a really important one because, like, just this synergy is so useful for those super annoying paths. Like, because, like I said, back in Act 6, like, Kabam wasn't being helpful to you at all. You had to have a power sync character or suffer. Like, now you have, like, the backfire node and things like that that help you get the power stings. But back in the day, you had to rely on this guy. Like, there is literally almost no one else you could rely on except for this guy. And even today, this is still the most practical and useful power sync synergy, in my opinion. You have great champs like Spider-Ham that just have tons of power sting, but Mr. Fantastic enables a whole 2 classes to take those paths, which is just absolutely incredible. And then on himself, the power stings are so good for him. It's just a ton of extra damage. Like, hey, this guy didn't need more damage, but let's just add more. Like, sure, man, just go for it. Add more damage. And then he has, like, the more niche stuff, like, of course, his Council Reads. It's a super fun synergy to run, man. I wish I had a 2-star Mr. Fantastic so I can get, like, the full synergy. But in my opinion, his best team is the Fantastic Four, because he has things like this one right here where his debuffs last longer. So it's just, you know, I think it's just better overall because it has way more utility than just adding like some Mr. Fantastics. And then lastly, I just want to talk about his issues that I managed to work around, and that's of course the debuff refreshing. Um, his heavy reach sucks. I'm just gonna be upfront, but there's ways to play around refreshing the debuffs. Like, you can use a special attack 1 once he's rammed. You can use, if you're like Max Sig, you'll probably get to the special 2 in time to refresh the debuffs. And just finding the heavy attack openings. Like, in my Dragon Man boss solo, I like went to the corner, so when he finishes special attack 1, I can just heavy there. Like, there's ways to play around it. Like, people think that's his biggest problem, and it just like cancels the character. No, it doesn't at all. Like, it doesn't cancel him at all. There's ways to play around it. You just need to be like more experienced with him to be able to counter those problems. And how did I not talk about this? His evade. In my opinion, probably the best safety net in the game. It is stupid. It is the stupidest, most broken safety net I've ever seen. Like, so much it's so reliable. It's over like a 60% chance to evade. So like, let's say you have a projectile special attack coming up, you can just hold block and he'll auto evade basically. It is a better version of Stark Spidey's because it counts on basic attacks too. And people will get annoyed by it. I don't get annoyed by it at all, dude. I love it. I appreciate the fact that he just has ways to get out of a bad situation. You know? Like, literally my favorite ability, Mr. Fantastic, is his evade. It is the best safety net I've seen in a while, dude. And it's not talked about enough. It really isn't. That's another thing that I think puts him over the edge to be a top 3 science character. But yeah, man, what other problems do I have with this character other than, of course, a heavy reach? But I found my solution to that. Maybe the fact that, like, if he's low sig, the ramp can be quite long if he has, like, no synergies. But, like, with synergies, dude, he already does so much damage that the ramp doesn't even matter. That would be my only other complaint, but in things like War, the ramp, you don't notice it. It's not that bad. It's just when he's by himself in, like, long-form content, that's when it starts to be, like, a little bit of a problem, you know? But, yeah, man, overall, I think this dude is a top 3 science character. Like I said, Cap and Human Torch, untouchable too, especially Captain America. That man is... Kabam probably regret making Captain America, and probably regret making Mr. Fantastic too. This man is stupidly overpowered. Not only because he's just busted by himself, and he's like busted with his team, but he makes other characters good. He makes Spider-Man 2099 better. He makes Void better. And he's better than both of them in my opinion. And so you just have this character that's super helpful and super good on his own and beyond powerful with the full synergy team. So yeah, I think that's about it. That was a fun little rant. I love talking about this guy. He's so awesome, dude. He's so good. Like, just so overpowered. Like I said, he helps himself. He helps the team. He has some incredible synergies. And yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the whole Trial Reed Richards series. That was not my last video on Mr. Fantastic. I'll maybe give him like a little bit of a break, but I think I want to keep doing some more projects with him. Maybe some more short form content with him, you know, like some casual boss solos, or if there's like a new trend going on, I'll hop on it with like Mr. Fantastic. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the series. This is my final verdict. I believe he is a top 3 science character. Cap Infinity War number 1, Human Torch number 2, Mr. Fantastic right there at number 3. And I feel like I need to make a video on why I think Cap is number 1, because I'm probably going to get yelled at because of that. But yeah, guys, that's about it. So really quick, I thought I would just give a little bit of a brief conclusion on why I think he's a top 3 science character. And it's just one, because he has such fast access to his best utilities, which is power gain and heal reversal, comet power rate manipulation, and, you know, I guess the Diva Siphoner, but I wouldn't say that's one of his best. But he just has really fast access to those, and he also has an incredible safety net that just lets you be really safe and lets you just like not take that much damage. It's a really solid safety net. And then he also has the fact that he has a ton and a stagger on the special one, and with full synergies he has an incinerate and a heal block, which adds a ton of utility to his kit, which is already a very powerful kit. And then on the special attack 2, it lets you further increase your heal and power gain reversal, and lets you increase your suppression even more, and also increases his massive damage, which another thing that I think makes him a top 3 science character is the fact that his damage is incredible with and without synergies. With synergies, it's super solid because you have the damage over time as well, which is another thing I would like argue makes him top 3 is the fact that he has incredible damage over time. And what else? His careful study passive is great. I didn't really cover it much in this video, but it's really nice to reduce special attack damage for like those annoying unblockable specials that for some reason you may not be able to evade if it's like a true strike node or something. And another thing is his signature ability really makes his ramp faster, which I think is such a good ability. The fact that he can really ramp up super fast, and that's why I think he is a top 3 science character, because he has a very fast and easy ramp up. It's really easy to maintain his debuffs. He has a ton of debuffs that are all useful. He has a lot of utility on all of his special attacks, especially the special 1 and the special 2. And he enables 2 whole classes to do a very niche yet incredible thing. And his synergies are just incredible for himself as well, and they're all with good characters. So yeah, there's a little bit of a quick rundown on why I think he's a top 3 science character. And yeah, that's about it.